fixes the problem. Hello and welcome to this video. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Corey from Bach Scholar. Also, make sure you go over to the Well-Rounded Pianist and join there, and I will be your personal professor. There is now well over 3,000 videos on there for members. So what I want to talk about today in this video is my absolute favorite Chopin work out of all of Chopin's work, solo piano works. It is the first movement of the B minor Sonata, Opus 58. I've had a lifelong love affair with this movement, but it wasn't always that way. In the early days, back, I'll tell you the history of this work before I discuss it. The first movement of Chopin's B minor Sonata, I think, in my opinion, it's always been, I've struggled with it. I've always struggled musically with it. And I'm going to explain those things in here as I go through my new interpretation of this very familiar work to all the advanced virtuoso pianists of the world. It's a very difficult work. I think it's one of probably the most difficult work musically that I've ever played. It's hard to fit everything together. It's hard to hold it together because of all the themes. It's just one beautiful theme after one beautiful theme, and many are quite varied, and that's a good thing. It's like a kid in a candy store. I mean, there's just so many beautiful themes here, but the way that people usually play it is, it's like about 5 different tempos or something, and I've always had a problem with that because I don't feel the unity. I've never felt the unity. Even when I played it myself, I performed this about 35 years ago, by the way, in one of my degree recitals back when I was in school in the Dark Ages. So I have a long history with this work, this sonata, and it's always given me problems, but yet it's like my favorite work. I just absolutely love this movement, and I've been revisiting it lately over the last few weeks, and I'm relearning it, and I have a totally new interpretation. Back 30 something years ago when I performed this, I did it like everyone else. I did it the traditional way. I did it, when you get, here's the traditional way. Okay, you start, it's fast, you speed up here, then you slow down here. Oh, you have to speed up here, then you have to slow down here. Oh, you have to always speed up here because everybody does it in recordings. See, it's like it's formulaic. And you start to listen to performances of this, and it just like everybody does the same thing. Now, I have a radical, absolutely radical new interpretation of this. It's so radical, and I'm being a little, I'm joking about it because I'll tell you what it is. Do you know what my radical plan is on performing this work? Like if I were to perform it, maybe one of these days I'll do a performance of it, but now I want to talk about it. Here's the radical thing. Okay, I play, I'm not BSing you. This is no BS here. I play the entire thing from beginning to end at exactly the same tempo, and I never vary the tempo. Yeah, I do some retardandos. Yes, retardandos are okay. Yes, but virtually no accelerandos. It's a very straight tempo all the way through. And what I think that I just love it that way because I feel that it unifies everything. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to put it on, well, first before I go through the details of how I'm presenting each of these themes. So here's theme 1. Just a very grand theme like that. Chopin marks it allegro maestoso. That's my allegro maestoso. That's much slower than you hear everyone else play it. But I'll get into that a little later. Then he goes through some sort of, he has a very beautiful sort of theme here. It's not the second theme, but it's sort of like a fake second theme almost. So those are the very beautiful measures here. Measures 23, 20 through like 28. Very beautiful theme there. And then he goes through some development and some impressive sort of technical feats here. And then he comes down this scale run here, or this little passage. Very beautiful second theme. So you have the second theme. Very beautiful second theme. Now, I want to jump to the recapitulation. If you don't know what that means, it's the third section in a sonata form when the themes come back. Now, the next time the theme comes back, it returns. The first time, what I just played, it's in D major. So we're in the key of B minor in this. So we're in the key of D major. Then when it returns to the tonic key of B, but it's B major. So this is a sonata in B minor. But of course the second theme is in a major key. So the second theme is in the parallel major, and it goes like this. So it's basically the same thing as he did earlier, but it's down. He goes down a minor third. So he goes from D major to B major. So it's slightly a thicker sound because it's a little bit lower on the piano. So the very beautiful second theme. Then after the second theme, you have this. So the first second theme is in D major. Then he sort of cadences in. Then he works his way towards F sharp minor, which is like the 3 of D. It's like the three chord. F sharp minor. A very nocturne-like passage. Then he has a very beautiful theme here. What's really nice to see, he repeats that with an embellishment. Sorry, with an embellishment here. So the first time he has. It's very sort of operatic. And then he has this. So it's like a sort of question and an answer. See, and then he has another beautiful theme here. It's just he keeps going on and on and on and on. And then he has the absolute beautiful, the most beautiful of all the themes comes at the end. This is what I call the closing theme of the exposition. This is in measure 1, or measure 76, the absolute most beautiful theme. It's just glorious. I just love this thing. And then it's even better. It's almost even better when it returns, because when what I just played for you returns in the key of B major. I don't have to play it for you, but what happens is this. If you're a pianist, you'll encounter many more black keys. So the second time around, Chopin goes into almost all black keys, which is a good thing, because it's very sensual music. It's sensual for your fingers. It's like Chopin just knew how to write for the hand. It's just absolute genius writing, in my opinion. And this closing theme, which I just played for you, is that's the epitome. That's I think that's Chopin's most beautiful melody, I think, is that. And look, some people, some pianists who know their piano music would argue that the third movement of the sonata is the most beautiful movement. And it is very beautiful. The third movement is very beautiful. It's like a nocturne. But I just, something about the first movement just makes it my favorite. But like I said, it's a very difficult movement to pull off. It's difficult to perform because you're constantly going from one theme to another. Then in the middle, you have the development section, which has sort of a Bachian sort of style, 4-part harmonies, like a sort of a fugal. It's not a fugue. I mean, some people would say a fugue, but it's sort of a quasi-fugue, maybe a fuguetta or something like that. But he goes into like this. Your original theme. Remember in the beginning? Well, then after the little fuguetta here in the development, then he develops that more, and then he goes into the section that I have a previous video on this, the one, my analysis of the special 12 measures. And that comes next. I don't have to play that for you now because you can refer to that video. Then he goes on to sort of develops one of the other themes, and then he goes back, and then it just goes on and on and on. You know, this movement takes, I think, without a repeat, nobody plays the repeat for the exposition, but if you play it without the repeat, it's usually around 10 minutes on average. And I'll have to inform you that my performance, like if I were to perform it according to my standards, it would be about maybe 2 minutes slower than that. Actually, often at times it's about 9.5 minutes. So my performance is about 11 and a half minutes. It's slower. So my tempos are slower. But here's what I do. Here's what I'm doing interpretively. I'm going to show you what I'm doing in terms of holding everything together and my new interpretation of this. So here it is. Here's my radical new interpretation. So I'm going to put the metronome on a speed here. It's a very slow speed. I'm not going to tell you what it is. And I'm going to play a little bit of the second theme here at this, with this tick here. Okay. There we go. So I'm not going to tell you what that speed is yet, but when I just cadenced here in measure 55, I played from measure 41 to measure about halfway through measure 55 at one constant speed. It was metronomic. I played it metronomically, but it sounded musical. How is that? How is that? I didn't do any of this speeding up and slowing down that people do. I played it strictly in time, and that's a perfect tempo too. The only slowing down I did was at the end here. So at the cadence, at the measure 55, I do a nice liberal ritardando here, and then when I reach measure 56, I go right back into the tempo. So measure 56 is... See? So I kept it the same. Now, it doesn't have to be that speed. I could speed it up a little bit. Doesn't have to be like that. Let's speed it up a little bit. And I'm going to see. Actually, that's by the way, that's 32 beats per minute. 32 would be 32 beats per minute per half note. Okay. So let's see what 36 sounds like here. It's going to be a little more flowing, a little more moving. I love that tempo. That's a really good tempo. I love that tempo. Did you hear how it gave the nice flow to the second theme? It made the second theme fast enough, but not too fast. It could perhaps be a little slower, yes, but it works really well at 36 beats per minute. That means 72 per quarter note. 72 per quarter note. Or I like to do it on 36 instead of 72. And then after measure 55, you do a nice retard there. And then you get into measure 56, and it goes right back. When you get to 57, that theme, you go right back. It slides right back into tempo here. See, most performers do this. The traditional way is they do a nice slow kind of tempo for the second theme, and then they cadence in measure 55, and then they get to measure 56, they do this. They start to really speed up in this theme here. I don't hear this theme as being a happy sort of circus theme or something. It's like played in like a circus or something. I hear it very lyrical and very intimate and cantabile. So this theme here, you know. Just maintain exactly the same tempo. Don't speed it up. You know, a lot of pianists do that too. They speed up when they get to this theme. You know, when they just go too fast. You can't hear all the notes. So in my new radical interpretation, I do this all at the same tempo. Everything works really well at that tempo. Now I'm going to put it on 36 again, and I'm going to play from measure 65. Now you hear, so I kept that. I kept that exactly the same going up to there. I did a nice retard in measure 75. Now here, in this closing theme, and here's the interesting thing about using the metronome when you practice Chopin. I'm going to show you a technique of using the metronome here that the whole section, the closing theme here in measure 76 to measure 90 is very, Chopin has rubato written in to the notes. Like he has extra notes in places, and he has some places that require more time and some breathing. So this closing theme is the only theme in this entire movement that I believe needs to be played out of time. Okay, so but the average tempo will be 36. So I'm going to play it. I'm going to keep the metronome on, and you'll see I'm going to play it, and then every once in a while the tick will get back and I'll know I'm on track. But it's not, I don't think it's proper musically to play it to be as metronomic in this last theme as you are in the other themes. See? So let me show you how you can be flexible with playing while using a metronome. So I'm going to put it on 36 again, and I'm going to go to measure 69 here. the metronome. There I got on track. So I got on track there. So when I got into measure 77 and 78, you knew I was back on with the metronome, but I had to get into it first. And now you can hear in measure 79, I'm going to, in the second half of measure 79 now, when I play it again, I'm going to actually take 2 beats for 1. So I'm not, because these notes, those really don't sound good if they're exactly in time. So I stretch those out to 2 beats, actually. So let me play this again. I'm going to put the metronome. Listen carefully how he stretched that out there. So I'm going to play now for measure 76. Did you hear what I did? Did you hear what I did? I got to measure 79. I was going, or trying to go strictly. It wasn't that strict. Actually, in an actual performance, I probably would take a little time at the end of measure 77, but I'm just, for the sake of using the metronome here. So basically from measure 76 to measure 79, the middle of 79, it's strictly pretty strict in tempo, and then you stretch that out to 2 beats. And now you get back into tempo after that. So back in measure 80, you're back into tempo. And perfect place here, perfect place where you just ignore the metronome. Don't try to fit all those in. Don't try to don't try to do that. Just take your time, and then just try to aim for the tick getting you back in measure 82. Okay, so I'm going to play it from measure 80 again. You just heard me play it my way. I played pretty much from measure 80, after that retard in measure 79, I played from measure 80 all the way to measure 90, exactly in time. Exactly in time. Do you know how it's traditionally done? I'll show you how it's traditionally done. It's done like this. I'll play from measure 80. So you're going along. Take your time. Then what they do is this. Everyone does this. They always go. They like speed it up about 20%. Yeah. They just make it into an etude. They play it as fast as they can. From like measure 84 to measure 90, it's like a race. It's a mad race. And you know what I do? I do something absolutely just like no one's ever thought of this. Has anyone ever thought of just playing it at one tempo? Let's do this again. I'm going to put it on 36. I'm going to play from measure 80 at one tempo. I'm not going to speed up. And it's better. It's better than everyone else because there's unity here. Listen. That is so romantic. That is so romantic sounding. It doesn't sound, look, most pianists would think if you stick to the same tempo, it's going to sound metronomic. Oh, it sounds metronomic. It's not metronomic. It sounds more musical this way. This is romantic. Do you know the traditional way of speeding it up by 20% in measure 84 is just stupid. Why do people do that? Then they do this. Look, I'm going to get to the main theme in a minute, so don't go away. I'm going to have a bigger rant on that. But let's go into the development section. I'm going to show you how everybody does the development section. They do this. So they end it nice and sort of soft after speeding up 20%. Slow it way down. They slow it way down here. Then when the theme comes in measure 94, they go. And it goes so fast you can't hear any notes. Let's hear what it sounds like just putting it on 36 and see if that fixes the problem. Okay, so here we go now. Fixes the problem. So you don't want to do this. Don't do what everyone else does. Everyone does this. They go slow. Then when they get to, and they all of a sudden speed way up. You just heard, your witness. It sounds better slower. It's better slower. It sounds terrible when you speed up there. Everyone does it. I mean, I was guilty of it myself 30-something years ago, of speeding it up there. Just keep it slow, make it sound like Bach. This is like Bach. Okay, now, let's get to the main theme. Do you notice? I was playing everything so far at 36 beats per minute, or 72 per quarter note. Why would we want to change that for the main theme? Chopin marks allegro maestoso. Maestoso implies a more majestic speed, not fast. So it's traditionally played, let me play it how most people, the sort of standard, sort of cookie cutter way of doing the main theme. It's like this. You play it really fast. It's really fast. It's like an etude. And then you speed these up. They speed those up. And then they speed them up again. It's like a mad race. That does not sound maestoso to me. That sounds presto. Now, let's put the metronome on 36 a novel idea. 36. So we've played this. Look, this is what I find fascinating. Let's go back to the second theme here. Before I show you what the first theme sounds like at this tempo, let's go back to the second theme. Perfect. You know what the advantage is of putting it on 36 rather than 72? If you put it on 72, you don't have the flexibility within those beats, see? So if you put it on 36, you can actually incorporate a little bit of rubato into it. It's just that if you're on 72, you have smaller units and it sounds more choppy and more metronomic, see? So you need to learn how to do the slow beat, 36 rather than 72. Okay, now you just heard how beautiful the second theme is at 72 beats per minute, per half note. Well, let's just put that same speed on and let's just try the first page and see how it sounds. I mean, this is like, it's slower than any one you can find. This is the slowest it's ever been played, but it's better. It's better. This is maestoso. And it's the same tempo as the second theme. Chopin doesn't even specify. He doesn't say on the second theme slower. So the whole thing should be one tempo. So let's try this. Now at 36, it might take some getting used to, but this, you need to hold yourself back here. Expression. Isn't that nice? And then we have play the way people usually do it. They go like this. They do this. Well, when they get to this theme here in measure 17, they usually slow that down a bit. Like I would sort of more of this tempo here. Then when they get to that sforzando chord here, after that, then they really take off. They just really take off. They play it presto, as fast as they can. But Chopin doesn't say to speed up there. So I'm going to put it on 36 again. And I'm going to play it from the I'm going to play it from there, measure 17. Slow beat, instead of doing the quarter note beat, doing the half note beat, You can feel the half notes here in measure 23 to 28. Now, don't speed up in 29 like everyone does. Everyone does this. When they get to measure 29, then they start speeding up again, and they speed up and speed up. Let's just keep it the same. Keep it the same. Don't speed up. So I'm gonna play from measure 23. See, when you slow it down, you can hear the expression. You can hear the expression more, and you can make the expression more. Do you like that transition there? So, if you know how this is traditionally played, you know that I didn't do what everyone else does. See, everyone else in measure 31 and 32, they speed it way up. It's just much, much faster. Like in measure 35, they do this. And then they kind of, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Chopin didn't mark that. That is absolutely ridiculous. Let's put it on 36 again and do it correctly. Maestoso. This is not presto. Do not speed up there. Let's take it from measure 31. I was only going 72 beats per minute per quarter note. To me, I don't know, maybe I'm just weird. Maybe I'm just weird or something, but I think that's much more beautiful than the way that most people bludgeon this work. See, there's this tradition. The tradition just, it's wrong. It sounds terrible. It sounds terrible the way that everyone plays it. I hate it. I'm not going to play it like everyone else. I'm going to play it like I want to play it. And I'm going to play the whole entire movement at 72 beats per minute per quarter note with some retardandos in there. It doesn't mean that you can't play expressively if you play it adhering to one strict beat. So now, before I end this, let's just go back to the beginning again. I'll just go back to the beginning just to remind you how great it sounds, the main theme, at this slower tempo, 36 beats per minute. again, just to remind you how beautiful the second theme is at that same tempo. And now the theme in measure 56, and now the theme in measure 61. Okay, same thing. And now the theme in measure 66. Okay, now the theme in measure 76. That would be like more of an average tempo. You can take, like I said, you can take time there in that theme. Now let's go to the development. Put it on 36 again. We have measure 94. Jump over to measure 105. And now we get to the theme in measure 1. So we're going to cadence in 117. Okay. Then we're going to go back measure 133. What I just played there, listen to what everyone else does there. It's really insane. It's stupid. I don't know what they do. They slow down, they speed up. When they get to measure 137, everyone speeds way up there and on beat 2. Don't speed up there, just keep it the same. Chopin didn't say to speed up there. Don't speed up there. I mean, and then the second theme. Here the second theme when it returns in B major now. Okay, and then you can see everything. It all works. It all works at this speed. Can you even believe that? You can put the metronome on 36 per half note, and you can play this movement from beginning to end, and it sounds musical. I think it sounds more musical that way. Of course, assuming that you have expression, you're not just playing in a mechanical fashion, but put musicality into it and keep a beat. Problem I have with the traditional interpretations is nobody can keep beats. They just go all over the place. They get here, they speed up. They get here, they slow down. They get here, they speed up. They just do whatever they want. And so this is my radical new interpretation of my absolute favorite piece of music by Chopin. So I don't know, you can disagree with me. I don't care. Disagree with my approach, but I am going to play it at one steady tempo from beginning to end, and that's going to make it more musical, in my opinion. So thanks for this little rant. I hope you got something out of this. I'll see you in the next video.